What's up guys, it's Omar Farouk here from Tryon League. The NFL season is about to start in less than a month, so it's time for me to give you my predictions of all the teams, how well or bad that they're going to do, playoff predictions, Super Bowl pick, it's all happening right here. So today I'm going to start with the NFC North, and I'll start with my home team, the Chicago Bears. Last year they were 10-6, but they missed the playoffs. And because of that, and a bunch of other things, along with the bad offense and stuff like that, they fired Lovie Smith and instead hired a more offensive-minded coach, Mark Trestman. And they signed the left tackle Bushrod. They also got Martellus Bennett as a tight end, and then they drafted two really good guys, Kyle Long, who's a guard, and so far in preseason he's been really good, and then also John Bostic, who's really been just a home run pick for the Chicago Bears. He's been really good. This is Jay Cutler's contract year. He needs to show up, he needs to prove that he can win, otherwise Bears aren't going to pay him and he'll have to walk, and the Bears are going to have to rebuild everything all over again. Judging by the schedule, I looked at it, I still think this team is going to be good. I have them going 11-5 this year. So 11-5 is my pick for the Chicago Bears. Now let's move on to the Minnesota Vikings. Now the Vikings, they made a big signing by getting Greg Jennings, and last year they were 10-6, but that was really because Adrian Peterson just had a boss year, really boss year. And even though he's saying that he's gonna run for 2,500 yards, I don't think that's gonna happen. It was really amazing what he did last year. He's still gonna be great this season. But they did lose Percy Harvin, and Percy Harvin, no matter how much he's injured, whenever he's in the game, he creates such a big threat. And then they also, which is I think is really underrated, but they did lose Antoine Winfield, who was their top corner, and that kind of, with him gone, it kind of leaves a little hole in the secondary. So we're gonna have to see how that works out. The Vikings would be higher if they had a better quarterback, but Christian Ponder, I don't think is gonna cut it. Maybe, who knows? They did sign Matt Castle as his backup, but I don't think the quarterback situation really helps them at all. So I have them going 6-10 this year. I think they're gonna fall from last year. The third team, we're gonna talk about the Packers, and they obviously have the best quarterback in the game, Aaron Rodgers. Even though they lost Greg Jennings, they still have a bunch of great receivers. The problem was their running game, and they went out in the draft. They got Eddie Lacy and Jonathan Franklin. We don't really know how they're going to turn out to be. Usually Green Bay Packers running backs don't really turn out to be anything recently because they are just a more passing team. They did lose, obviously, Greg Jennings, and then they also lost Charles Woodson, who was getting a little older, but he was a leader on that defense. And that defense was really bad last year. So that is something they're going to have to improve. Otherwise, it's going to be hard for the offense to carry this entire team because you always need defense. So they went 11-5 last year. I actually expect them to go 12-4 this year. They will win this division. I think this is one of the best teams in the NFL. And yeah, they have that bad man, Aaron Rodgers. So I think the Packers will go 12-4. And then finally, we have the Detroit Lions. Detroit had a very surprising 4-12 season last year. I was really surprised by that. I didn't really expect that. They got their running game was really bad. So they got Reggie Bush, and even though they lost Cliff Averill and Kyle Vanden Bosch on their defensive line, they ended up signing Israel Idonije and CJ Mosley. So they kind of made up for the losses that they had, but and they also drafted a rookie. I can't even really say his name right. Ezekiel Anza. I'm guessing that's how you say it. And he's looked really good so far in preseason. Their main concern is their secondary, because their secondary is kind of weak. They did sign Clover Quinn, who was from the Houston Texans. That might help them a little, but they need to shore that up. The offensive line also needs to play much better because Stafford got killed a lot. he couldn't pass half the time because he was just getting pressured. So that will be interesting to watch. I think Calvin Johnson is a beast, but I mean, his stats weren't really that great in terms of touchdowns last year, so he's gonna have to improve that. And I have this team this year going 8-8. I don't think they're gonna be that great. I don't think they're gonna be that bad either. I have them going 8-8. So that's it for the NFC North. I'll do the NFC East next. And please like, share, subscribe, comment. You give me your picks for each division. And until next time, so long.